All right, guys. I'm Mr. McNabb here with a couple of my students in my communication class, Logan and Logan. They're going to introduce themselves here after a bit. I want to first touch base a little bit on the athletics here at North Davies that have took place so far this fall, and more so here recently as things are kind of gearing and heading towards the sectionals, and some sports have already actually played their sectional, and I want to touch base on all of that. So just a quick recap. First, we'll get started with Gracie Knepp. Gracie Knepp is a golfer here at North Davies, and she shot a 93 in the sectional to advance to the regional, which will take place this weekend at Country Oaks in Montgomery. So best of luck to Gracie, and congratulations on getting out of the sectional. I know the golf team had a second place finish in the SWIAC with Trinity Gingrich and Gracie making all conference, and Alexis Knepp was honorable mention. So congrats to those Lady Linksters on the golf course. We definitely I have personally have grown to love the game of golf. So it's great to see some of our young athletes out enjoying the great game of golf. We'll move on to the volleyball team. The volleyball team continues to improve dramatically, night in and night out. They are now above 500 for the first time this season with a 9-8 record. Well, maybe the first time since early on in the season. They beat Evansville Bosse on Monday night in 3 sets. Following, that came off of 2 conference wins the week before. They have a big conference match tonight at home against Linton. Linton is 5-0 in the conference. They're probably looking to win the conference tonight. So a lot on the line as the Miners come to town here tonight on the volleyball court. But tip my cap to Coach Graber and her staff and her players just by the way that they've bought in this year and continue to improve day in and day out. The energy and the effort seems to be a lot different from years past, and it's showing with the results on the floor. So congrats, girls, and keep up the good work as you head into sectionals. Cross country participated in the Bar Eve Invitational on Tuesday night, had some successful times, and continuing to get better and improve their times as they inch closer to the sectional. The junior high teams are having a successful season as well. They are heading over to Bar Eve tonight as well to take place in another junior high invitational. Both teams will be traveling over to Shakamak this weekend to take place in the Shakamak Invitational, which is a pretty big event leading into SWIAC, which is also at Shakamak next weekend. So a lot of big things coming up for the cross-country program. Miles Krieger, Coach Krieger is the coach for that, and also Coach Schertz has been involved with helping, and Isaiah Borders as well as a volunteer assistant. So best of luck to those guys as they continue to progress and train for the upcoming sectionals. We will now talk about the football team. The football team is playing Linton this Friday. They're 4-0 on the season. Linton, I believe, is 3-2 or 2-2 or something along those lines. Linton's coming off of a loss to Boonville, a very solid Boonville club, in overtime. Pardon the interruption here.
Please report to the nurse's office. Jude Hastings, Max Hastings, Austin Weber, Webster, Brooks Helms.
That's just part of it when you're at a high school setting doing a podcast. But football team's got Linton Friday night. Looking forward to a competitive ball game, hopefully. And I know it's one of those games that Coach Fine and his staff and players circle before the season starts. Kind of uses a measuring stick. I think that this is definitely the best team we've played this year. So it's one of those things where do we stack up? And I'm looking forward to seeing, what we can show Linton and what we can give them on Friday night. Best of luck to the Cougar football players and Coach Fine and company. The tennis team continues their successful season as well. They played and finished the Northeast DuBois match. DuBois is a top 5 team in the area, and we were able to beat Northeast DuBois with Marcus Britton finishing off the last match, and they won that match 3-2. So congrats to Marcus and the rest of the team. They've got a match tonight at Gibson Southern. I know Coach Mullen has really kind of beefed up the schedule just to prepare them more for the tournament play, which is upcoming. And Bloomfield's the defending sectional champions, so I know that they would like to avenge last year's sectional loss, and they are doing all they can to prepare for that. So a lot going on at North Davies. A lot of athletes are gearing up for sectional play and peaking, as they say, at the right time. And hopefully that leads to some tournament success and some fun times here at North Davies as we approach the fall sectionals. So that's all I'll have here for the recap of our athletics. Now I'm going to bring Logan back in here, and Logan Miller, senior here, has a topic for us to discuss. We're going to try to go a little shorter than we did last time. Just try to go 5 to 7 minutes here talking about what Logan has in store here. So Logan, welcome to the show, and happy to have you.
Thank you. Recently we have a college and careers class, and since I'm a senior, it's thinking about college and my future, and it's really been difficult because it's like all of a sudden I'm getting hit with Costa and all of this extra things I didn't know I was going to need. But she said for us to find our passion. And speaking of the sports, you became a coach. So how did your passion for the love of the sport make you become a coach and make that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I actually just talked about this with some buddies the other night. I started college not really knowing what I wanted to do. I started as an accounting major. When I was still in high school, that's what I thought I wanted to do. And then I got to play college baseball for 2 years. And when I was home for the summers, my high school coach wanted me to take one of the junior high, or they used to call it Babe Ruth, coaching positions. And it was volunteer, no pay, a lot of time through the summer coaching 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. And I had never coached before. But, I was a catcher in high school and college, and catchers typically see a lot of the game, and they call pitches, and they see every pitch, they're involved in every play. So they say a lot of catchers make good coaches. And if you look at the major leagues, a lot of the managers were former catchers. So, just for example, the Cubs manager, David Ross, was a catcher, with the World Series team. So I took it on, and I had a couple buddies help me as assistants, and that's when I knew that when I had that group of youngsters coaching them, and I was just 19 years old myself, that's when I knew that I wanted to be a coach, and I had kind of a natural ability for it, and it just kind of came naturally for me, and I found my passion, so to speak, as you put it. And from there, I changed my major to education because I knew that education was the quickest way to get into coaching. So I tell people I became a teacher because I coach, and it's kind of, some people do it the other way around, but that's part of it. And I met Bob Bell, Mr. Bell, our former superintendent, at a baseball game, and the next week I was in here for an interview, and the next day I had a job, and the next week we started school. So it all happened super fast, but here we are 9 years later, still here, and going into my 7th year as the head varsity coach, and definitely something that I will probably, I've been doing. I've been on a team or coached on a team since I was 5 years old in basketball and baseball. So it's been a part of my life for my whole life, and not sure that I can see it really not ever being a part of my life. So that's pretty much the story, and still going at it today.
Yeah, the way you and Coach Schertz and them all taught me, it's made me really want to be a coach myself when I get older. So I really wanted to go to my dream college, which that kind of blew out and I couldn't do it. But my backup was history teaching. Mm-hmm. I love history. Why not? And I take cadet classing, so I'm used to being that cadet, and so I figured, just why not go into teaching and maybe get my foot in the door in coaching. And just I love all sports. Just the sports just comes naturally to me.
Following students to the nurse.
Quick interruption here.
Alexander Cates, Abigail Lyons, Avery Williams, Kiana Wagler, Andrew Riggins, Luke Graber, John Morris.
And that kind of brings me to this other topic. It's I know what I want to do, but then we have a young one here sophomore, right? Freshman.
Freshman.
Freshman Logan. He's just now getting his feet wet in high school. Do you even know what you want to do when you're older?
Honestly, no, I don't. I kind of have an idea. I don't want to be maybe a cop or something like that, but it's changed so many times that I'm just not even sure yet, really, what I'm going to be.
Well, Logan, young Logan, I can tell you, you have plenty of time to figure that out. But old Logan, you can probably tell him it goes fast. And
that's true. It's a blink of an eye.
It's a blink of an eye, and you're trying to make decisions about scholarships and colleges and applications and majors and minors and all this stuff and on-campus living, off-campus living. Are you going to have a job in college? Are you going to not? How many hours are you going to take? I mean, there's a lot of questions and a lot of answers to be determined, but it's all good. It's all good questions. It's good problems. If you're improving and continuing to, better yourself, that's kind of the ultimate goal. And both of you will find your passion. There's no doubt in my mind, and everyone will if they just kind of put themselves out there. Young Logan, what's kind of, you said you potentially may want to get into law enforcement. What's something that's kind of drawing you to that?
A few of my family's friends and stuff like that are into that kind of stuff. It just kind of interests me to go out and kind of help the world and clean up all the stuff that's going on right now.
Absolutely. Interesting time to get into law enforcement, with everything that's taking place in our world today. We won't get into any of that, but just, there are a lot of people out there doing a lot of good, and definitely can be, inspiring and kind of lead the way to show young people like yourself, that it's possible to have a good long career in law enforcement. Logan, college is less than 6 months or 7 months away for you, basically. USI history teacher, maybe get the foot in the door somewhere as a volunteer coach or whatever it may be. What are just to wrap up here, what are your fears or your excitement? What are you looking forward to? Just give me a couple things on each side.
Well, I'm really excited because high school is always not in a mean way, kind of boring, and all I've heard is how good college is and everything. But that comes from the people that I talk to. My brothers, I would consider Tyler and
Sure.
or Brandon.
People before you.
People before me, they tell me how much better college was for them. But I love high school, and I'm probably going to miss it, but I'm excited to take a next step in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fearful because I know Evansville, where I'm going to college. I know where that is. I know the surrounding areas. I know where not to go, where to go, but still a big city compared to what we live in, surrounded by cornfields. And compared to that and all the money that I didn't know I was going to need, all the little cost I didn't know I was going to need, that kind of scares me because being the child of an only parent right now, it's kind of difficult to understand the whole business side of things. Because I knew money was a struggle, but now that I'm old enough to where I can get a job and everything, it's the money really hits you.
Sure.
Because then you're learning truly what you need to do as an older kid.
Yeah. Well, you'll be fine. You'll adjust. You'll fit right in, and you'll have a ball. I have no doubt in my mind. You'll really enjoy it. And we're coming to the end of the period here as we wrap up second period here at North Davies High School, a communications class. We're happy to be here. As always, just catch our podcasts and news broadcasts on the website. And hope you enjoyed listening. And guys, anything else?
Stay classy.
All right. Thank you, guys.